Well, I've flown the Typhoon H about 3 or 4 times, and this was the 5th time, and that's where this calamity came from. I took the Typhoon out to a field in the international school just near my workshop, and I flew it again. This time I flew in safe mode, which was a big mistake. I should have flown in angle mode. Anyhow, I took off and I noticed that the drone was drifting a lot. I had GPS locked. Everything was right, and I wasn't filming at the time. I didn't turn on the video. The drone started to drift. I started to panic and run after it, and I tried to catch it. It didn't take a big spill, but it did turn over and break a prop on the ground, and the camera dislodged. I thought dislodged, but no, the camera broke its rail system. There's a plastic rail that a track that holds the drone on. You slide this gimbal and camera underneath the drone into this these 2 slots, or it's like a slotted pad with spring-loaded connector pins on it, gold-plated. And on the gimbal itself, there's 6 little pads that these little spring-loaded contacts touch. Without those rails to put the thing together, the only thing I could do was repair it myself, and I certainly tried. So this is what it looked like. So I printed out a page documenting the repair. This is the plate I made, and this is the mount on the, these are spring gold pins. There's 6 of them, I guess for all the control of the camera. Well, the repair that I had to make on the gimbal, this is the gimbal, and if you ruin this top part here, you cannot mount it to the drone anymore, so it's quite useless. It's very, very important, and I think it's quite a design flaw that they made just this little plastic track here to hold this on, because if you can see in this video, there's little reinforcement studs underneath to hold the rail on top on, and that rail slides on a track with contact pins. They're spring-loaded contact pins that are they're gold-plated, and they make contact with these 6 pins here. So all the control for the camera for the Typhoon H drone is controlled by these 6 pins. Very important that when you slide this on, it's rather there's a lot of precision involved, that those pins on the underbelly of the drone make contact with these pads, these 6 pads here, which are probably gold plated. Okay, what happened was when I landed, it was a little bit of an abrupt bump, and the camera just fell off, and it sheared off the plastic rail here that holds this gimbal and 4K camera onto the drone. And of course, you're out of business after that.
not going to be taking photos or doing any wonderful video. The camera is exceptional. I think that the contrast of the lens and the color reproduction of the camera is just fantastic. So it's quite a loss. The drone drifted. I landed it abruptly and it bumped, and this just fell right off the drone, shearing off this part of the track here, which made it unmountable after that. You could not put this camera and gimbal back on the drone. So you can see this is a rather precise piece here, and this distance in here is very critical, because you have that when this slides on, the spring pins on the drone belly have to line up with these contacts, and the tolerance is very, very, very fine. So if you miss a pin or you don't register properly, you're going to lose the ability to one of the functions to pan or tilt, or possibly to take video. And I hope if anybody's watching this, the only difficulty I'm having right now is to initiate video from the controller, the S16 controller. To take a photo or initiate video, I have to press several times, and on happenstance it just takes. And also to stop, I have the same problem, and I have no idea if that is a registration problem with the drone. So perhaps somebody at Unique could write me or comment on this video and let me know if that is the problem. Otherwise, all the functions of the camera, panning, tilting, is apparent, and all works. So I think I solved the problem, but taking videos seems to be quite difficult. Okay, so what I did is initially I epoxied this on with very good epoxy, and then I drilled two little holes in here. I'll probably put a third, and I'm going to use very tiny sheet metal screws, probably 3mm, like watch screws, sheet metal type screws, to hold this bracket on, to enforce this bracket. There's no margin out here where you have any problem. There is a stop involved on here, over here. So when you slide this on, it goes to a certain distance and stops. So I had to match this other track, and I had to match the space involved here too. And I wanted to make sure that those pins will register every time. So I inquired at what this is worth, and this camera and the gimbal is, to replace it, is $500. So it was certainly worth doing, and I'm not near any Unique distributor, so it means sending this from my home in Thailand to the States, and that will take probably months, and I just don't want to get involved like that, so I try to repair it myself.